Yes? A lot? I think we'll just get started. It looks like we've got quite a few people in here. Um, oh, I'm live. Okay, we're live. So, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for today's Quest Social. The theme, obviously, of this event is Valentine's Day, right? We're going to have a panel talking about the dynamic duos, which is going to go into more detail, and we'll have Nathan Long, the president of Quest Trust Company, up here shortly to moderate the panel. We've got the excellent Chris and Jamie Bounds and Derek Barker and Brittany Mosley, right? Yes, got it. Derek Parker and Brittany Mosley to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about how to handle maybe a personal relationship that has morphed into more than that on the business side as well. So from the experts, we're hopefully going to get you all a lot of great information in that regard. Before we do that, we do have to go through a little bit about Quest, some of our upcoming events, and then we also are going to have to hear a word from our sponsors as well. So first one here, the agenda. Obviously, you guys know what that is. So we'll be starting the panel here shortly. Thank you so much to our sponsors. I do want to just get through our stuff really quick, and then we'll go back to that. So Quest really, really, really prides ourselves on the education that we provide, right? Not just to our client base, not just to Houston or to Austin or Dallas, but to the entire market. Anybody who wants to listen, anybody who's interested in learning more about self-direction, about real estate, those are our people. So we host 2 webinars a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays, 12 to 1 p.m. Central Time, where we bring on typically some kind of expert, some speaker from outside of Quest to discuss something different about alternative investments. Highly encourage y'all to check those out. You can also check our YouTube channel, our Facebook page for those recordings as well. We post everything that we do. Typically, it's uploaded within a few minutes. So, like I said, check out the recordings. Y'all are we recording the one tonight? Yes. So y'all will be able to see the recording of this as soon as you get home. Another one that I certainly want to highlight as well is the National Networking Happy Hour. These events in person are especially great to meet face to face, right? Talk to people in your community. What this does that's very different is enables people from across the country to be able to network, pitch their investment ideas, tell people about this money they have to lend or what they're looking to do to borrow. We see people from all varieties, all walks of life join those to be able to connect with like-minded real estate investors and other individuals. So you can register for those. We do them the 4th Wednesday of every month. Actually, I think it's the last Wednesday. This one is going to be February 28th. Oh no. What did I do? At the top? I think I skipped through all of them. Katie's going back there to fix it. Okay. While she's doing that, I am going to talk about the expo a little bit. So the Quest Expo is an event that has kind of, as a matter of fact, happened to occur once every other year. So the first one that we did, or not the first one, the last one we did was back in September of 22. The next expo will be this June of 2024. It'll be the 27th, Thursday the 27th through the 29th. Thank you, Katie. Boom. Thursday the 27th through Saturday the 29th. This event is really going to be a cluster of networking, education, meeting vendors, investment sponsors, really anything you could want out of alternative investment event, you will find at the expo. I really, really, really encourage you guys to look into this one. We're holding it in Las Colinas, which is, I think, like 10 minutes north of Fort Worth, if I'm not mistaken. I think Nathan and some other people got to tour the venue this week, if I'm not mistaken, right? Absolutely beautiful. You can purchase tickets online. We've got, different events planned, parties, education, panels, Q&A. There is going to be all sorts of opportunities here for y'all to look into, find out, and learn, right? Learn, get educated. So whether you're a novice, you're just, starting off in the industry, you have 100 flips or rental properties under your belt, this is the place for you. I mean, it really is for all experience levels. So I highly encourage y'all to check this out. I think that's all I have to say about the expo. Last one here. Oh no, two more. The second to last one here is the millennial investor panel that we have coming up. That's going to be our next social. So it'll be March 23rd. And really, whether you're an older person, maybe you have kids who could benefit from this, or you're on the younger side, right? This is going to be not only from millennials to millennials, but from the panelists to the moderators, and hopefully to the attendees and the people viewing will be those that can actually learn from other millennials how to invest, how to build their retirement bucket. So you can register for this one. It doesn't cost anything. It's totally free, and we do put it online. Very last one here before I bring up the vendors and sponsors. This is going to be the next social that we're having here in the office, May 7th. We are partnering with, I believe it's the Wounded Warriors Project to put this one on. So the theme of this social will be veterans turned investors. We're really excited about this. This is actually something we just kind of brought to fruition and have started marketing. So I hope that y'all will entertain these events. Certainly look at the events page on our website. But without further ado, well, can I get all of the sponsors up to the front? If y'all will all come up here and have some time to say a few words.
Thank you. Hi, my name is David Brookhouse, and I'm a wealth manager with Eckerd Enterprises. And what we do is we take real estate and oil and gas and combine the two. And how we do that is we offer direct ownership into income-producing mineral rights. Now, what are mineral rights? Mineral rights are the first shovel dig down all the way to the core of the earth. So we don't own the surface. All we do is we buy the mineral rights. By owning these mineral rights, it gives us access to all the oil and natural gas that gets produced from the property. So we let the likes of these multi-million to multi-billion-dollar companies like Exxon and Chevron drill wells on our property to the tune of $10 to $20 million. And then so what this does is it provides monthly cash flow for the next 25 to 75 years to you. Now, a lot of us don't have experience in oil and gas, but it breaks down to a pretty simple investment. If you're looking for, again, income-producing properties that are going to provide revenue for the next 25 to 75 years, and you have IRA funds, 1031 funds, or individual assets that you're looking to put to work to help grow your net worth, then look us up at EckerdEnterprises.com. That's ECKARD Enterprises.com, and you can schedule a free consultation. Thank y'all.
Eckerd, thank you so much. Natalie?
Hey guys, how's everyone doing tonight? Happy to see a full crowd. I'm Natalie Portra with Investor Loan Source, or ILS Capital is what I'm representing tonight. What we do is provide loans for investors, whether it's rehab, rentals, or commercial property. But then we take those origination and actually put them into our funds that we offer to all of y'all as well. So we offer basically two types of funds. We have a growth fund and an income fund for short-term and residential. It is for accredited investors, but it is fantastic. It is based off performing notes. So it's a little bit more safe. I'm happy to discuss any of those with you. It is a great opportunity. Or if you're just looking for the investment or the borrowing side of it, happy to help you with that as well. ILS.cash or ILS Legacy are two great websites to see. So if you have any questions, come see me at the table.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Ravi Kaku with Blink Lending and Investments. My coworker, Brandon Slavin, is right there. We're a local independent mortgage company, so we are a lender essentially for your primary investment homes, cash out refinances, even can do loans that are non-QM based. So property specific loans, bank statement loans. And we are also a private and hard money lender. And the way we can relate to Quest investors that we sell private money notes that are tied in first lien position to an individual home. So if you're interested in investing in notes, please do reach out to me or Brandon. Thank you.
Thanks, Robbie.
Hello. Hey. So my name is Derek Barker, and I run a company with my wife here called Nectar. And I know. I know. She's the one who actually does the running of the company, and I do stuff like this most of the time. We do working capital and second position loans to real estate companies that have low leverage cash flowing assets, and we have a fund that's diversified across 27 states. There's a super low leverage and 50% leverage fund that pays 12 to 14% quarterly distributions. And that's what we do. We lend money to professional real estate investors, and we have a fund that that takes those notes and pays quarterly distributions. That's it. Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, go ahead, pass it along.
Hey guys, Crystal Rumor with Secured Notes. Secured Land Notes. What we do is we originate notes and we sell those notes. We also do partials as well. And really there's no amount that's too small because we can take that amount and turn it into great things. But I wanted to share something briefly why I do what I do and why I love what I do. My husband and I started back in 2008 doing fix and flips, wholesale hotels, and then we got into owner financing. It wasn't until last year, though, in March, my father-in-law passed away unexpectedly. And in the same month, my mother, we found out she had cancer. And I share that story with you right now because not only was that challenging, but we found out in our own backyard, our family didn't have a financial plan set in place. And that was very hard for us. And so what that did is it gave us a newfound mission and a new heart to help others with secure income and to build that legacy for your family. So if you're someone, an investor looking to diversify your portfolio and want to secure income to create legacy, then we'd love to talk with you guys.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bradley Bass, and I work with ZT Corporate. ZT Corporate is a private equity firm that was founded here in Houston, Texas in the late 1990s, and has since then grown to become the third largest private equity firm in the Houston metro. We have also expanded our footprint to include offices in LA as well as New York, and we also have a satellite office in Dallas. What we do is we buy, own, and operate businesses in the healthcare, automotive, and commercial real estate sectors of the industry. We are currently the largest owner and operator of freestanding emergency rooms here in the state of Texas. We are also own and operate car dealerships in Georgia, Florida, and Texas. And we are also looking to acquire commercial real estate assets in the Southeast region, primarily cash flowing, operating real estate, such as like hotels and stuff. So if you have any questions or concerns, I'll be hanging around. So happy to answer any questions you'll have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chris, Jamie, y'all want to say a few words? Okay. All right. Well, everybody give a big round of applause for your sponsors. Thank y'all so much. And Joe, I believe it is your time to shine.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alice. I don't need it. I am the VP of People and Culture. And what I do here at Quest, I'm just going to tell a little bit about it. But what I do here at Quest is I manage the facilities at all of our offices, Houston, Dallas, and Austin. And then my main focus is really the training and development here at Quest, the culture, the education. Like Colin said, education is really important to us here at Quest, not just for y'all, but also for our employees as well. So you guys are doing very complicated, sometimes very complicated investments. And so it's really important for all of us to really educate our clients in the right way. And that starts with us educating our employees. I actually feel very passionate about this particular role. Training and education is such an important part here. And I know I started here at Quest at the front desk. And then I kind of was given the opportunity actually to work my way through many different departments, learn all the different aspects of what Quest does, how we run, and what we're doing here. And so now being in this position where I can really help and make a difference to all of the employees that are working here is something that I personally feel very, very, very passionate about. If you know any young people who might, or young adults who might be starting on their journey, who are maybe looking for an internship or anything like that, Quest has an incredible internship. I know there's a couple of our VPs here who started as interns and are now VPs of the company. They're running things here. So Quest really gives you an opportunity not just to learn about how to run a business, but to really grow your wealth. I always tell everybody here, what we learn is really priceless, and self-directed IRAs are just something that everybody needs to be growing their wealth. And it's such a incredible journey to be part of all of the employees' journey here. So that's just a little bit of what I do, but without further ado, I'll call up Nathan Long.
So,
Yeah, you want to put that mic on that table? And I'll go here. If y'all want to come up now, are we?
bring the couples up here. How's everyone doing? I'm Nathan. I'm the president of Quest. You might see Quincy back there. He's our founder and CEO. We got him out. You have to sit on this side, Derek. I'm just going to explain that. So I don't have any PowerPoints or anything. Matter of fact, you might want to turn these off so they. No? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Thanks, Alice. A lot of people don't know, but good customer service doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work. And Alice puts a lot of time into our employees and the education, and that's how we are able to create it. Quincy was really wise when we started Quest. We had the idea that it was kind of complicated, you know. We just had to teach people. We had a cool product, right? It's only a few $100 a year, or whatever, you know, and most people for it, but it allows this freedom for people to do other things. And he just had the idea that let's put the employee first. Let's just try to remove all the barriers to their success and see how, and let them propel our success with us. At the time that happened, I think we had 4 employees, you know, now we have 140. And I think that I've got the greatest job in the world because I get to watch bright young people learn things that they don't learn in college, they don't learn in school, and often, unfortunately, us as parents don't teach them either. You know, so it's really cool to watch people become financially free at a young age. Up here, this is one of my favorite topics. I volunteered to fly here and all 3 cities to do this because I love this question. I get it all the time, like, hey, man, should I work with my wife? Can we do this? Would that be a good idea? And that's kind of like the adult diapers. It depends. It can be very complicated and very rewarding. So I brought some successful couples up here, and let's try and ask them a few questions about what it's like. Introduce yourselves.
Testing. My name is Chris Bounds. It's my wife, Jamie Bounds.
Big introduction there, Chris.
Yeah. Fund manager, real estate investor. We flipped 200 houses over the years, acquired 900 units if you want to add in the multifamily. Raised $20 million doing those deals, 100+ million in transactions. Primarily, we teach folks how to build wealth and passive income, and then we bring some along with us on that ride through private money lenders and passive investors in our deals, and that's what we do. We have fun doing it.
Yeah. Was that even on? Okay. I'll just add, my name is Jamie Bounds. I am a wife to this awesome man right here, and mother, teacher, and real estate investor. And it's been quite a ride these 14 years together, and starting our company together 6 weeks after we got married, because he locked me in first and then said, hey, let's start a real estate company. So I was like, okay, we'll get it right on that. And then,
well, at least he got the pecking order right. He got you locked in, right? And then he sprung it.
what he does. Yeah.
Introduce yourselves. You just one of you pick. Come on.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany, and let's see. I started in real estate in 2016. Derek and I built a pretty big portfolio together worth about $450 million. I worked on like the smaller properties in our portfolio. So anything under 50 units, I've done everything from like small multifamily, single family flips, and short-term rentals. Back in, gosh, was it 2021? In 2021, we sold a lot of our portfolio and built Nectar, which Derek kind of talked about. Really just wanting to provide real estate investors an opportunity to grow and build their real estate portfolio without having to give up equity. So that's a little bit about me.
And I met Brittany when we were freshmen in college. We were in the same dorm room. Not dorm. Well, we were.
Whoa! I bet you were.
I meant same dorm.
More than once. Didn't have to go there, Derek.
No, I meant same dorm building.
Whoa! Didn't need those secrets.
But yeah, so that's when I started my real estate journey. Back in college, we both had corporate careers, and we were like long distance for 5 years. Because I went to New York and was a bond trader at Goldman Sachs, and she was not going to New York no matter what. She was like, we would just not be together if that's. But she also had she like ran a business at Abercrombie and Fitch, so that was pretty cool too, I guess. And
wow, Derek, you're gonna be in trouble before this night's over.
And yeah, and then we came together, and now we run. We built a couple of businesses, and we have 4 kids, and that's pretty much life: kids and business. So.
Okay, let's jump right into this. How do you balance, if you're going to be a couple, that personal and professional life?
Well, like it kind of blends. I don't know what was I saying in the car. I can't looked over these questions. I can't remember. Uh-oh.
Just spin it so it's flatter to the wall. There you go. It doesn't matter. It just kind of hangs there. You okay?
Yeah.
Go on.
We're very much a team, like from day one. I mean, we've always been together in everything we did. Oh yeah. Well, before we were married, we were just a team. We always, hung out and obviously liked each other enough to get married. But then once we started out, he started, knocking on doors of pre-foreclosures. And again, I would always call myself the getaway driver, because I would stay in the truck because he would just go and knock on these doors, and a lot of people were not happy. And so, but I went along. I mean, I went along with him, and I was like, okay, we're going to do this. Well, this is what you want to do. And then I kind of got hooked on it. But then it's just teamwork and everything, because even as a couple, like.
But do you have that
married.
separation? Do you have time where you
No.
don't talk about work, or there's time that you do?
Well, then it's about kids.
Right?
So we, had our kids, and
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely blended. I mean, if anyone gets to blame for talking about business too much, it's definitely me. And so she's reining me a little bit, and I've learned that balance. But I mean, we do approach things, both parenting, vacations like leisure, and then the business as a team, and it evolves like throughout our life, especially with kids and school and all this other stuff. Like, she may be more focused on one area and I'm focused more on another, but we always come back. Circle back to where we're always on the same page of whatever is going on in our varying degree of responsibilities.
I think for us, it's like similar. Like there's like the lines are very blurred. It is really hard to find the balance. I think we try our best to be intentional. And usually like depending on like what activities the kids have, I'd say like 6 o'clock is like when we try to stop working. We'll spend a few hours with our kids before it's time for bed and read books and help with homework and eat dinner together. And then once the kids are in bed, we start what we call our night shift of like trying to finish up all of the rest of the work we hadn't finished earlier in the day. And then we do intentionally try to get 1 hour during the week to just kind of talk about like what are our family priorities. What is the vision? What are the goals for our family and how are we going to achieve them? So I wouldn't say we do an amazing job, but we do try to find some intentional time to like not talk about work. It's harder for him though.
Yeah, but to me, it really is like we are building a life, and that life involves our family and work, and it is just that that just is what it is to me. It's like yeah, I don't really. To me, it's not balanced. It's just this is the life that we're building, and it involves things that conventionally people will look at as work. But to me, it's like this is just our life that we get to do.
To me, that just blows me away when I hear both you guys, because I do work with my wife too. We do investing. She's an attorney, and for me, I have super strict rules. It's like if I'm in the kitchen cooking, you better not talk business. There are certain hours that I just shut down. I do not talk, but she could do attorney talk into late into the night, right? If she has a court case, that she's operating outside of that, I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. Don't ask me any technical questions. I'm working on a loaf of bread.
No, it's the same here. Brittany will go late into the night working, and it's like, do you not see me trying to listen to this podcast? Or like think? I just like to just think. All right.
Yeah, I need that time where it's like not there. All right, here we go. What are some of the benefits and challenges of investing as partners? Who's ever first? Doesn't matter. Go ahead. You guys go first this time.
The benefits are like, so we did like marriage counseling for like years and years, which I think was really great. It helped us like just figure out things that are normal, like challenges of being a couple or like living a life with somebody. It turns out like there's just stuff that is hard, and there are people who can just like help you with the hard stuff. So we get the benefit of like the lessons we learned from that in our business too. Like just communicating, like when do you communicate? How do you deal with challenges? How do you deal with like disagreements? And so that's one of the benefits. And alignment, like we're aligned on our vision for our life. So and we get to work in all the nooks and crannies of time in the day that is hard to do when you have like I have other partners, and it would be like a Sunday afternoon, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm in Buckhead, come down." And I'm like, "Well, I'm about to put the kids to bed. I'm not about to meet you in Buckhead to talk about work." So, but I can do that with Brittany. Cool.
One thing I heard from some friends in another mastermind a long time ago, and it was the business is supposed to support the family, not the family support the business.
Thank you.
And we've been in situations where we found ourselves like the family is supporting the business, and it just kind of brings perspective. Like, okay, well, the good thing is we created this thing, so we can also morph it into what we really want it to be. And as we were like building a huge flipping machine and all this, and we kind of realized like, hey, look, this is fun. It's also kind of stressful, and it's also not really why we got into this business to begin with. So we started making changes in our business, and creating a new business to where, or basically changing our operations to where it did fit our goals long term. So that created challenges going through that process. But ultimately, we have enjoyed the benefits of going through that experience together. Some good experiences, some stressful ones. But the good thing is, like, I had a coach, like a life coach, and he was like, remember, like, you chose this. Like, I chose this life because I chose to go into business. So that's the good thing. And it also means that I have control over how I'm going to react to it and how I'm going to continue to make decisions that should be helping the business further support the family and not the family support the business.
I like that. So I think there's a couple of really important things that, as I said, one of the things over here is what you learn in business does spill over to your personal life. We see this at Quest all the time. People come to work and they start taking Alice's classes. We have a whole series of classes they have to take that go, and then, that they go through, the training that they go through. And a lot of it's about personal development and communication, how to communicate. And they can go home like, yeah, I tried that with my husband. That worked great. I tried this here. It does spill over. Learning communication in business will help you have a better relationship. It is true. And learning to have better communication in your relationship will help you to have a better business. And there, I think that's really important. But there's something else that you guys said that I think is really important to understand. All businesses change. What we had to do at Quest when we were 4 people is quite a bit different than what we do with 140 people, right? And each stage, there was a period of change. And if you're going to work with your spouse or your couple, and you need to recognize when it's not working towards your goal. Your goal should never be making money. I'm sorry, that sounds weird from a guy that does what I do. But to me, wealth is not about having money. It is about having control over your entire life. And that means generational wealth, taking care of your parents, teaching your children about it, right? But also knowing that money doesn't control you. Money is just a tool that you use to achieve what you need to have a good family life. Great points. What's the next question? Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on there. How do you decide on your investment goals and strategy? Either one, go.
I like this one because it's the teacher in me. We have vision boards. So we always set the first, of every year since, we've started this, we've had.
Alice would love you. She makes everybody do vision boards.
Well, he has it in his office. He prints it and everything. It's not really cute, but it's effective. But we always set our goals at the beginning of every year. We have quarterly meetings, weekly goal setting meetings, and that's when we talk about our investment goals, the strategies to get there, because that's the most important part. It's great to have goals, but what are you going to do to get there? And we put the systems in place and action and having those.
Let me say, you have scheduled meetings to talk about specific things.
Yes.
Scheduled meetings to talk about specific things. Key importance. Go ahead.
Has anyone heard of the book or read the book Traction?
No.
So
is it good?
Highly recommend reading that book. And it's not a book that you just read. Like it's a workbook. Like if you run a business, get that book, and it's a workbook. You will have to do work. But so we have our annual meetings. You take your goal and you break it down into quarterly chunks. Those are rocks. Those are basically the baby steps, the stepping stones that are going to help you achieve the annual goal. And then you have your weekly L10, we call them L10s, or those are the weekly team meetings that it really focuses on the activities. Because at the end of the day, once the goal is set, you don't necessarily need to focus on that. That's should be 5% of your overall attention. It's the daily activities. Like if you want to win a Super Bowl, you can't focus on winning the Super Bowl. You actually got to be able to throw and catch balls.
Right.
So
block and tackle.
Yeah, you got to be focused on doing that. And if you do the activities, strange things happen. Like you get closer to your goal. And so that's how we approach it.
I always say every time we have a problem, we always go back. I always say you got to go back to the basics. If you're having a problem, like, I don't know, the phone's not ringing, you always go back to the basics. Is it customer service? Are you answering the phone? Are you paying attention to your customers? It's always the basics. You guys are so timid with that microphone. Do you
So-
slap his hand sometimes? Like, I'm just wondering. You have a little ruler? He's very timid. Like, can I have that?
No, it's because I often would just jump and grab it, but like a lot of times she just has better things to say. But I'm just like more willing.
Oh.
But investment goals and strategies. How do we decide them? That's a great. We like sit and talk about this stuff all the time, and our investment goals and strategies are based on just the best opportunities in the market, and the best opportunities that
You ever tell him no?
Tell him no?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know my wife tells me no. She doesn't say no. Like attorneys will do it a little differently. Right? Right, Rambo? Instead of saying no, she says, well, we could do that. But what we would have to do that is we'll need this disclosure and that disclosure, and then you could do all that. Here you go, just to get all that done.
So I don't take a hint well. So like she learned early on in the marriage, just like, nah, it's not, don't drop hints. Just like, yeah. So she'll tell me no, and then she'll be like, look, if you want to do that and you really feel like doing that, then all right, go for it and we'll figure it out. And I appreciate that. And sometimes I'm like, sometimes I go for it, and that's not turned out well. So now I like will go out and like I like when she says no, because usually it's like you're probably right.
Oh, my wife loves when I go off and do an investment that she told me not to do. She loves that because she's like, remember I told you that, do you remember that moment that I said? And she's humorous about it and very loving, but she still lets me know.
The thing is, for our investments, usually if I get us into things, it's usually Brittany that has to get us out and get us through whatever it is. Like I've gotten us into some, I think, really good situations.
See, we didn't get this side in Dallas.
I've got questionable at best, and then I'm like, can you do this? Can you fix this for me? Can we get? And she does. So I love you for that.
That's sweet. I'm the opposite. I'm like, you took yourself into this. You get it out. You get yourself out. I said no. But you're sweet.
All right, let me ask another question here. How do you handle disagreements and conflicts about investment decisions?
I would say like we just try to maintain open communication and really try to like respect each other and hear each other out. I am a lot more conservative than Derek. Derek is very much a risk taker, and he's like, let's just go after it. And so, but I feel like typically like when he can sort of express his perspective, I can express mine. I feel like we get to the right place. So that's what I'd say.
Conflict? How do you do it, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, so I am the fixer, but I usually cause the problem.
The truth comes out in these things.
So you mentioned the investments. So like, there's been this similar situation. We don't need to buy that house. I don't want to buy that house. I'm like, I mean, it's a good deal. And then like 6 months down the road, I'm like, why isn't this thing selling? Like, we're gonna have to rent it out and hold it for a few years. And she's like, I told you not to buy it. So, but I ultimately, communication is helpful. And I mean, there have been learning to, I guess, getting back to the root question, learn how to really understand each other's strengths. So I've learned from a team building standpoint, her strength is communication, team building, relationship building with like the employees and folks on the team. And I've learned to listen to that because there's been plenty of times where she was like, no, so-and-so's like, I'm just getting a weird feeling. I don't think or I think they may quit, or I think this or that. I'm like, no, like, they're good. I just had a meeting with them, and like a couple hours later, hey, so-and-so quit. And she's like, I told you. I'm like, no. And then, I don't know, you want to answer the other half of that?
I don't know where we're going here. I mean,
Skills or
strengths, I think.
yes.
Conflict.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what else to say there. Let's see.
I think you guys are trimming around, I think, a very important point. Okay. And I've been waiting for it to kind of come out, but I think that one of the things that you have to do to be successful sometimes is to define each other's duties.
Yeah, and strengths for sure.
Right. And then stay out of the other person's kitchen.
Yeah, that's
You,
true.
you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, and that's challenge, and we've learned that because, like in the very beginning, we said we're a team and like everything, and we started out as a team and everything. And there are certain things that I'm better at. There's certain things she's good at. There's certain things that we both are pretty good at, like together. And so we've had to navigate some of that stuff, and some of the times, like there are debates, and other times we just kind of leverage the other or lean on the other person's best judgment, and remind them if it wasn't your
Right. You get that
something that
you get that opportunity. Hey, I told you. No.
I think for us, there is very, very clear who's strong at what, and there's not a whole lot of overlap. So even if like I can opine on the things that Brittany's good at, but like there is just we know when an issue comes across the table, whose issue it is and who has the last say. Because like I'm not good at the stuff Brittany's good at, and I don't want to be. Like I don't want to do that. So it's like, yeah, this goes to you. And like that's why there are not that many disagreements. In even like early in our marriage, we don't do things well together. Like we can't even cook together. Like if we're in the but like she can cook like the fish and I can cook like the veggies. Like, but we can't cook we can't do things together. Which is good because she's really, really good at the stuff she's good at. I'm good at the stuff I'm good at. I know that she's not gonna bat 1,000. She knows that I'm not gonna bat 1,000. I just trust. I know that whatever in her stuff, she's gonna do better than me, and in my stuff, I'm gonna do better than her. So I accept the L's with the W's, and she does the same, and that like makes it that helps us avoid conflict. Really.
Okay. That's good because you brought up some good points. I know that whenever I married my wife, we've been married 7 years now. I mean, I grew up in Quincy. He's an attorney. I share an office with Forrest. He's an attorney. And I thought I knew a lot about being an attorney. It didn't take long for my wife to convince me that I would not make a very good attorney. I need to not try to tell her how to be an attorney. And she doesn't try to tell me how to manage a business. But I think there's one little point there that I think that you made that slipped out that I think is really important to note. If you're going to partner with somebody, they're never going to hit 100%. Nobody bats 100%, right? Nobody bats 100%. You've got to be able to go, yeah, you messed that one up a little bit. I love you anyway. Am I wrong?
Or in Brittany's case, you messed that up a little bit. I guess I'll fix it.
Yeah, that happens in my household a lot too. So, yeah, at Quest we call it. My wife's last name's Fohaus, so we call it bringing out the Fohaus. Like, oh, this is a real mess. Call Christina. Yeah. Okay, let me move on. Let's do before we go into the speed round here. Let me go. Let's go to the last one. What are some of the best practices or tips you'd give other partners who want to invest together?
I was gonna say, make sure you kind of balance each other out, kind of like you were saying, and also know that you have the same vision and know your why, like why you're even doing this together, in the first place, and then work off your strengths.
Fish pee in that stuff.
What else did we say?
Yeah, with the why, like you probably have some large overlapping why, but there may be individual whys too. There's probably going to be individual whys, but you definitely have to have a big enough why, because like this business is fun, exciting. It's also can be stressful, like problems arise, and that's what you're going to be leaning back on, like when those times come. But I think it's also equally okay to understand that both of you don't have to work in the business or to the same degree. You don't have to be 50-50. You could be 80-10 or 80-20 or whatever.
We know which one does the math.
Microsoft Excel. So, I mean, you can have those and it's okay. I mean, I know plenty of folks that they're very successful and their spouses has nothing to do with the business and it works for them. Others are 50-50 like we are and varying degrees in between. So, but whatever that is, just be okay with it. Have that clear communication and know your why.
So I'd say one big thing is we're talking about like knowing each other's strengths. I think also just being vulnerable and being able to like admit what your weaknesses are and like having open communication about that. So then if one of you can't fill that hole and you need to bring somebody else in to do it, like do it, because it's going to just make your business more successful. And then I'd also say like really coming together and like talking about like what is the vision for y'all's company, like what do you want to build, how do you guys want to build it, just like being on the same page from the very beginning. And as challenges come up, just kind of going back to like what was our original vision, like what was our mission,
That's
like what
so
are we
wise.
here to do, I think is important, because it like running your own company and like especially when you're investing, like you are going to take some L's and there are going to be days that are tough. But like if you just have your mission as like your North Star and you always come back to that, I don't know, I feel like you just can't fail.
I don't know. You can fail. I don't know. If you keep trying, if you keep trying, then you won't fail. Eventually you'll. But I'd say best practices. So in the real estate business, have enough money, like that's like a real best practice. And if you think you need like $100, then don't do a deal that needs $100. Do a deal that needs 80. Like I'd say in the real estate business, like just that solves a lot of like just liquidity solves a lot of things. I'd say agreeing on everything or partnering with someone where you have similar skill sets and similar backgrounds and all the conversations are easy because you're agreeing on everything is not really like you're just leaving yourself wide open to huge blind spots. And like one of the best things is to have a relationship with somebody where y'all respect each other enough and have differing skills enough where you can look out for each other's blind spots and not be partnered with somebody who has the same blind spots and then don't have the humility maybe to like then have someone else to fill that, to fill that gap. I think that's a huge mistake that I've made in the past that I think we've figured out. And the one thing I said there that I want to just emphasize is the trust part of it, because it's easy to trust. It's easy to like just paper over a lot of things when things are going well, but things are just not always going to go well if you do it for long enough. And it's easier to continue going forward if you're in it with somebody who you just trust and who's made a mistake, who's done something where you could have a fight, but instead it's like, well, I trust that you're doing your best. I'm doing my best. And we are going to get through this together, even in these dark times where we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, because that helps you get to the light at the end of the tunnel. So
if I could just piggyback on that, because I was just going to say to that, if you're getting in this business, you just have to be able to learn to pivot and be persistent and persevere, because there's been so many times for me that I'm just like, I want to stop. I want, because it's a ride. It's really a roller coaster. But this guy right here, I mean, we have pivoted our business in so many different ways, because you have to in a real estate market, it's always changing and you have to get creative and just pivot your business. He always finds a solution. It's always about trust. You have to be able to trust your partner to find a solution. And I know this man will stop at nothing because I wanted to stop several times. I'm not gonna lie because it's a roller coaster, but he has always turned the ship around when needed, and then just found different solutions. He always says there's a solution to every problem. I'm like, why are you stressing out? I am so stressed. And he's like, there's a solution to every problem. I'm like, yes, I know that, but you can still stress out a little bit, okay? So
I know that's really funny. Like, my wife's my rock. Like, there will be times, I don't know, you guys know, but like in Texas, the banking regulators are really tough. You know, they are, which is a good part of Texas, actually. But and right now, banks are struggling and all this stuff. And I think about all this pressure that's on me, and and my wife will gently remind me, when I met you, you had a dream, and you created that. You watch all these young people grow. You have all these investors doing their thing. Take time and enjoy your dream. And she says that to me a lot because sometimes I forget. So, all right, you guys ready for the speed round? Okay, this is where you got your little paddles. Okay, so you guys got to raise your paddle on what you think. We're a little over, but we're saying, who is more likely to find the craziest investments? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just like, what's the weirdest one you've done?
We've bought like really crappy apartments.
Oh yeah.
Or like land in like a hole with like power lines going through it, and like.
You ever bought the ugly house that was priced right and everything, but was so ugly nobody would buy it?
We had a house that when Bree was pregnant with our second daughter, she fell through the floor. Like literally while we were going and touring the house, and like her legs were like literally in the basement. Her legs were like,
yeah.
we were blessed that she didn't go all the way through. So yeah, I don't know. We bought some ugly stuff.
I think she was like 6 months pregnant with our first child, and took a $500,000 loan at the age of 26 or so. Hard money loan to buy a 29
Hard
unit.
money loan, not just any loan.
Yeah. Well, during the rehab phase, you were. Having to buy a 29 unit for, I think we bought it for like $40,000 a door. I mean, one, that's how long ago it was, but it looked like a $40,000 door place. Like, I made sure I was wearing tennis shoes, raggedy shirt. I wanted to look the part so I didn't get robbed. And yeah, it was crazy. It worked out.
It worked out. And he says that as his voice gets real high. Okay. Who is more likely to forget an anniversary or birthday?
Well, if it's ours, we won't, but other people.
Really? Brittany, I'm so surprised in you. What have you forgotten that has been really bad?
I would say, like, it might be nearing our anniversary, and it would not be like top of mind. I think for like between like work and kids, like life just happens, and so I don't think we ever got to the day, and I like didn't remember, but I have maybe not had a gift on the day because I probably waited too late because that was not top of mind for me. So I would say
I got to tell you, out of 7 anniversaries, I've forgotten 3. I had one saving grace. She forgot all 3 too. Peas in a pod. I don't know.
I'm more likely to forget a kid's birthday.
Oh, I forget their names.
Yeah, same here. I got a bunch of them.
The other day I was like, Jake, could you hand me that knife? And Derek looked up at me and he was like, Dad, my name's Derek. Jake's your old dog. True story. Which one of you is most likely to negotiate the good deal?
If it's a real estate deal,
Oh, 17 years in the car business. I'm the guy to talk to about a car deal. Ooh, I love that. I love car negotiation. Which one of you is most likely to get lost in a new place? Go to a new town? You just no direction? No, my wife has no directions, but she thinks she does, which is even worse. So I'm like, no, it's over here. Like, nope, we're going this way. But really, it's right over here. Nope, we're going this way. I'm like, okay, we're going this way.
I'm not that bad, but yeah, I just when we will go, we will park somewhere, and I'll swear like we're supposed to go north, and the car is south. So.
She lived in Columbus for 5 years, and I go visit Columbus, and she wouldn't like be able to get to the airport. And I'm like, you've lived here this whole time. And,
Columbus,
like,
Ohio?
You're going the wrong Columbus, Ohio.
My dad was a professor at Ohio State at Columbus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was friends with all the whole track team. They all ran track together. But yeah, I'm like, this is how can you live here and you can't even figure this out? So at least she's self-aware.
Who's the better cook? Oh, you think so, do you, Derek? Oh, she did not agree real quick. Who's the better cook? You better cook. What's your best dish? What does he cook?
Nothing. I taught him how to cook bacon.
I can cook a good omelet.
Yes, we learned how to cook.
I do not let my wife in my kitchen. Her mom can come. She's okay, but not my wife. Who's more athletic?
That's not fair. You met this guy. Like,
Yeah, I got it. How far do you run in the morning?
we ran 100K, like 63 miles in a day.
How'd that feel? I've done a marathon twice in my life, and it took like 2 months to recover both times.
It's like running 2 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he ran like later that week again. I don't know.
I was in rough shape after both marathons. You both? Oh, really? Okay, get up here and arm wrestle.
So there are two points on this why it's not a tie, or 1 point why it was a tie. So our senior year at Harvard, we were voted the most. I was voted the most athletic man in the class. She was voted the most athletic woman in our class. So that is maybe.
Things changed, Derek.
But her friends, one time I was in the dorm room, and her friends.
There he is, back to that dorm room.
After maybe a couple of drinks, so she ran track and then played rugby. She was like a rugby star, and I played football. And her friends like were just talking so much shit about how she could run me over, and like she if we had like a one-on-one, she'd beat me in like a football rugby thing, and to the point where they were just going at it so hard that I was like, well, we're gonna just have to do it. and
she did too, didn't she? She ran you over.
No, he ran me
I was like, I'm not about to
I'm not gonna lose this. I'm not gonna lose this.
They just went too hard, and I was like, nah, you're just gonna have to just suffer the consequences. And I ran her flat over and kept going. I was like, you deserved it.
Has this been good? It's not the normal thing, but I honestly think this is an important topic, right? There's a lot of good things that we could pull away from this. Respect each other's zones, right? Respect each other's zones. Understand that your partner's not perfect and neither are you. We're all going to make mistakes, right? Trust is the real thing that builds all relationships. Work relationships, love relationships, all relationships are based off of trust, and trust takes time. And that family should always trump business. I've never met a successful couple that doesn't put that rule first. Thank you guys for being here very much. Colin, you got anything else? Any other commercials? Anything else? You got nothing. Thank you, guys. It's been very pleasure. Any questions for the couples? Anyone want to ask any questions? You guys want to pitch? Colin, they want to pitch. Hey, if you pitch, come up here and use the cube so they can hear you too.